wonderful to see you here. It's such a lovely, lovely summer morning. Thank you, John, for that wonderful song on Father's Day celebration here. Good to have you with us, Vernon, Patty.
It's nice to be here.
Mm-hmm. And we're being recorded today. Chris has got his tripod and his little video camera. We know that definitely your places. Chris's ability to put things on the web. So join with me. Taking a deep breath. Relaxing inward. Breathe. Feel the breath coming in through you and back out into the world. Relaxing. Calming. Soothing. Deepening. And as you go into your inner world, recognize that there is one life, one power, one truth, one peace, joy, and love expressing as everything. Expressing as you. Take a big deep breath, exhale. See that light at your center of your chest, that light within you, approximately your heart chakra. Breathe into that light, exhale. See it brighten, fill your body, your sphere of energy, and radiate out around you into the world. Breathe into that center of light. Exhale. Know that that light within you is infinitely deep and eternally broad. Always available. Always present. The life force itself. The intelligence, will, love, and focus of that individual creation of the universe that you are, always, always available within you. Eternally deep, infinitely broad. You are not a drop of the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. All things are within you. All peace, all power, all joy, all creativity, the unknown and the known, the possible, the magical, the transcendent. Where will you awaken to next? What is your awakening? Here at the Center for Awakening Spiritual Growth, consider what is awakening within you. Breathe in. Take a moment to listen to your own inner source. A moment of silence. Guided in. Within your heart, listen to your heart's desire, your true calling, your true nature, your infinite possibility. Slowly, slowly. Remember whatever impressions or thoughts or images you receive from your inner source, your own inner guidance, peace and presence and love within you. Slowly, slowly open your eyes, open your toes, your ears, come back to here. Now, you are awakened. You are awakened. Please turn to each other and say good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
What do we do in the morning?
Good morning.
We stretch. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It's wonderful to be alive.
Woohoo.
And if we really want to get it going, we jump around.
Apologize for waking up so abruptly. Before I start into my message, I want to mention, and Joan mentioned briefly, that Chris is here with his video recorder, and that came with an idea from Penny, who suggested that we start to video what we're doing here and get it out on YouTube on the internet and reach a whole bunch more people. And so Joan then took it, and Chris is sitting here today.
Yeah. Thank you.
So it's an idea that others have had over the years, and it's manifested. So we thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Last week, for those of you that were here, we spoke about how magnificent you are, how powerful you are, how big, how important, how significant you are. So how magnificent was your week this week?
Extraordinary.
Wonderful. Beautiful thing. Don puts up his hand. You have a magnificent week?
Yes,
Wonderful.
I woke up every morning to the taste of fresh air.
Wow. Beautiful, fresh Okanagan air. Look at that. We live in a wondrous place. I've lived here long enough to know now when it's bad here, or what we consider bad, it's worse everywhere else. So I rejoice, it doesn't matter what the weather here. It's lovely. This morning I'm going to move into talking about some what ifs. What does that look like, a what if? I often see and I often hear people in groups like this talking about spirituality, talking about metaphysics and love and joy and beauty. And I see them out there, and probably on your way here you're admiring the trees and the sky and the beauty of this place. But do we admire that in ourselves? Do we see that in ourselves? When you're looking at that rose and you're admiring the beauty of that rose, are you able to admire that beauty within yourself? What if that same beauty resides right there within you? As you look up at that beautiful golden sun, spreading its warmth, spreading its light, spreading its intelligence. Did you know everything that comes to the earth comes through light? Comes through, all the intelligence comes through light. What if you could see that light, see that intelligence within yourself? What if when you hear stories, you hear stories about the Christed light, you hear stories about Jesus Christ or Jesus the Christ, what if you could see that Christ within you? What if you are that Christed light? Take a breath, please. Breathe it all in. What if all that you see, all that you hear, all that you touch, what if all of that is you? In her message this morning, in her meditation, Reverend Joan went into, you are not the drop in the ocean, you are the ocean. Appearing as an individualized drop, but you are the ocean. What if you could see all of that? What if you could be all of that? And everything that's bringing up for you right now, just please let it all go. Just take a breath and let it all go. Let's just take a moment, and let's just close our eyes for a moment, and let's just turn within again briefly, and let's expand our consciousness. And let's just expand our consciousness into our entire body. Just take your consciousness and expand it into all of you, this body. Top of your head, bottom of your feet. Just expand into it. And feel the lightness, the tingling, the expansiveness. That's you. And if you're not able to feel it, it's there. It's just simply that you're out of touch with it. And if you continue to practice this simple exercise of expanding yourself and going about your day in this expanded way, it will become normal for you. So just open your eyes again. Let's take a moment to do another one of my favorite things, and let's smile from the heart. Just smile from your heart, right here. Just start to smile from here. You don't have to get up to your face. That's okay. Let it happen. Just smile from your heart. Very simple exercises. But do you feel the expansion? Do you feel the tingling? Do you feel the awakening within? That's you. What if that could be you and everyone? What if? You know, many of us are into nature. We love to get out there and walk, sit, commune with nature. We love to be in touch with it. And we look at things like an acorn. Now, does that acorn know that within it is a magnificent oak tree? Does it know that? And on the other hand, does it hold itself back from becoming that? So what if that same intelligence resides right here within you? What is it that you're able to grow into that you're not aware of? Nature is so profound and so simple and so complex in the way it is. But I'm always amazed if you take a look at a single kernel of corn, and you take that single kernel of corn and you plant it in the ground, it becomes a magnificent corn stalk, produces ears, and each ear has many, many more of those kernels in them. What if that same intelligence resides right here within you? There are many, many examples out there. I love to look at nature. And what nature does differently than what we do, nature goes with the flow. The oak tree, again, is a magnificent being. But it doesn't stand there just direct in the wind and the environment. It flows with it. It moves with it. What do? We stand constricted in life, and that's why I get you breathing again. Please breathe again. And I throw out these little tidbits of knowledge for you, little tidbits of wisdom that you're fully aware of. You've heard them before. They may be new to you. They may be something you've forgotten, but it's remembrance. Every limitation that you have put up in your life, every limitation you've brought into your life, you have done so to protect yourself. You have done so to keep you from your magnificence. Now the acorn can do that. The acorn can fall into a place where it can't receive all the nurturing that it needs to grow into itself. Or it can allow itself to grow wherever it falls. What if we had the same opportunity? What if we could grow into a magnificence that we're not even aware of? I love the example of the caterpillar. I remember as a kid, there seemed to be a lot more caterpillars around when I was a kid, but maybe that's because I was closer to the ground. Or I spent a lot of time in trees, hanging off the limbs. But I don't see many caterpillars today, but I guess I'm in the wrong place. But I love the idea of the caterpillar. And when that caterpillar is out there living its life and moving around and chewing up what it loves to chew up and just gain weight, but then it goes into that cocoon. Does it know when it goes into that cocoon that it's coming out the other end as a grand and beautiful butterfly? We don't know. It can't communicate that to us. Or is it simply going into a cocoon and it's the end of its life? But that caterpillar crawls in there, and the people who have studied it actually now know that it actually, cells take over and that caterpillar actually dissolves, turns into liquid. And out of that liquid begins to form the butterfly. And then as the butterfly, when it's time to release, it has to struggle to get out of that cocoon so that it can live its life. But what they found is that the struggle is necessary, because all of that wonderful living life, liquid, is in its belly. And as it fights its way out of the cocoon, the liquid is pushed out into its wings. And it's able to soar off. So what if some of the struggles that you face, what if some of the struggles that you're dealing with, what if they are just strengthening you into that magnificent being that you already are? What they discovered too, going back to the butterfly briefly, is the fact that some people said, well, let's help the butterfly and let's cut the cocoon. And so they did, thinking they were helping the butterfly. And what did the butterfly do? The butterfly fell to the ground and eventually passed away, moved on, because there was nothing to force the fluid from its belly out into its magnificent wings. So for it to survive and live its glorious life, and the monarch butterfly in particular, I don't know about them all, but we hear about that one, flies thousands of kilometers, thousands of miles. See, there's much to learn from nature. What if nature is speaking to you about who you truly are? About who you are in your magnificence? Who you are in your power? See, you are significant. You are big. You are important. You're absolutely unique. And I, for one, rejoice in that uniqueness. There will never be another like you. There never has been. There never will be another. What if? What if you took every advantage and stepped into that truth of who you are? The caterpillar took the risk of finding a nice cozy corner and building a cocoon around itself. so that another life, a completely different form of life, becomes. So how many of you, right now, no need to answer, other than within, how many of you are in that cocoon right now? How many of you are in transition? I guess everybody. Because we are in a place of transition. We are stepping into the truth of who we are. We are finding out that things that have been said over the years that have been misinterpreted, misdirected, misapplied, have in fact not been the truth. You are not small. You are not worthless. You are amazing. Another difference we have between nature and ourselves is we have free will. So when that kernel of corn goes into the ground, or when that acorn falls, it just does what comes naturally. We don't do that. Take a breath, please. In metaphysics, we talk about planting seeds in the soil of mind. But what seeds are we planting? For many of us, we plant seeds of doubt and seeds of uncertainty. But I'm going to go back to the garden for a moment, because when you plant a corn seed, you don't tell all your friends you planted a corn seed and then secretly go out there and say, "Come on, carrots. Come on, carrots. I planted that seed. I know I'm going to get carrots." You don't take the rose seed and put it in there and go out every day and say, "Come on, petunias. I know I'm going to get petunias out of that." But what do we do in the soil of mind? We plant doubt and uncertainty and say, "Come on, good life. I know you're there." That's what we do. We plant the doubt, the uncertainty, the smallness. We plant our unworthiness. And then we wake up every day expecting something different to show up. So pay attention to what you plant. Because you know when you put that corn seed in the ground, you're going to get a magnificent corn stalk and a magnificent feed of corn to share with family and friends. So what are you putting into the soil of mind? And again, everything that's bringing up right now, let it all go. Take a breath. Another difference between you and the corn seed is the corn seed, nobody ever told it was something different. So you were always told you were something different than what you truly were. Many of us were told, many of us were brought up in ways that, and no judgment here, simply pointing out an observation, that we were brought up in ways that we were told we're not who we are. And yet, we kind of went, "What? What do you mean?" And then over time, we became that. Who defined you? Do you define yourself? Or did you take on the definition of the environment that you're surrounded by? Who gave you your name that you go by? Who defined you? What if you could either redefine yourself, or what I would prefer, that you undefine yourself? And again, everything that's bringing up, would you please let that go and take a breath? Because if I'm undefined, how will I know myself? If I undefined myself, how will I know who I am? Well, let me ask you this. let me put it rather in a statement. I believe that each and every one of you are infinite spirit, infinite intelligence, infinite magnificence here having this human experience. How do you define infinite? I can't define infinite. I can put some kind of idea on it, but it's only an idea. I can't define infinite. So if you're defining yourself, you're defining yourself in limitation. If you're defining yourself in the infinite, your definition of infinite is likely limiting you. So what if you could just be that unlimited? What if you could just simply be that infinite? What if you could just simply go about your daily life undefined? You know, years ago when I was out in the corporate world, we go to meetings such as this, or business meetings, or corporate meetings, and they give you a name tag. And I started out fun wearing mine upside down. And people say, why do you do that? And I'd say, because most days I don't know who I am, so, but if I look at this, I can tell. What if you could begin to define yourself differently? Or what if you could begin to undefine yourself? Or what if you could simply begin to define yourself as infinite, magnificent? And what if every time you look at that rose, that special flower, that favorite tree, that favorite view, that favorite hike, that favorite tree, that favorite person, what if you could look at them and see in yourself what you see in them? What if you could do that? I'm going to leave you with this. There are no what ifs in what is. I'm going to repeat that. There are no what ifs in what is. I'm also going to leave you with this. So please join me. When I first heard this, it was about 12 or 13 years ago at a Center for Positive Living in Calgary. I was attending services there. And one of their magnificent singers began to sing this, and I'm not sure you can get through it now. I'd love her like a baby. So I'm going to leave you with this. If you know it, please join in. If you don't know it, please join in. Or just sit back and take it in, because this is about you. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough now. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough now. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough. I am enough now. I am enough.
Namaste.
Thank you, Vernon. Well done. William's turn.
Now it's time for prosperity affirmation. Does everyone have, if you don't have an envelope, put up your hand and we will get you an envelope.
That's okay.
Everybody has an envelope? Okay. There's a proper prosperity affirmation on the envelope. You can read along or listen to whatever you choose.
I know the truth. God is all.
This divine universal power supplies me with an abundance of all things, that I might live a successful and happy life. I give thanks, knowing that as I give, I do receive multiplied. I give with joy, knowing that the same is a divine idea in the mind of God, and so it is. Thank you for your financial support. And now it's time to sing another song, and that will be number 25 in your blue songbook. Happy Days Are Here Again. That's one of William's original songs that he wrote, and it's on his latest CD, isn't it?
On my old CD too.
On the old one, too.
My compilation CDs, I put them all together and,
Yeah.
yeah.
So William Brookfield, the number one star of the Louisiana Hayride. You know, talking about light, a few years ago, the scientists were inspecting the very smallest cell in the human body. And up to then, they didn't have instruments that could see this. And when they found the very, very smallest cell, they found there was a light inside of it. Isn't that amazing? So maybe the scientists will wake up and realize, hey, light is what it's all about. Okay, I think we have come to the closing treatment, which will be done by Reverend Joan Walker. So we welcome Reverend Joan.
We are each a presence of peace, love, beauty, truth, and joy, and ever unfolding magnificence. We each have a radiant heart and a wonderful mind. And we are here on this earth in incredible bodies. Yet we are much more than this. We are much more than our hearts, emotions, and desires. We are more than our intelligence, wisdom, and genius. We are more than our physical bodies, part of this extraordinary, wonderful, beautiful planet. We are more than even this. We are light. We are spirit. We are infinite and eternal, always unfolding. We bring the love, joy, beauty, truth, wisdom, creativity, abundance to this world, to our lives, to others. We give it, we share it, we release it. We go into our world, into the rest of our day, into our week, knowing the light and radiance that we truly are. We share it, we expand it, we enjoy it. We let it shoot out around us, out into the world, and to come back to us as our abundance, fulfillment, joy, magic. Who knows what will happen with this life like this? Who knows? What if? Be blessed. So it is.
So it is.
Thank you, Elder Joan, and thank you to all who participated in today's program, and thanks for the newcomers that came. We hope you enjoyed our program today. And now it's time to form a circle and sing our closing song, The Oneness of Spirit.